Now, new figures out today show that more people aged 65 and over are working than ever before. 1.1 million are working full or part-time. Now, the reasons vary from some needing the money to others simply loving their jobs. So, would you like to keep working till you're 65? Will you still be working then?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think it keeps your brain alive. I mean, my father-in-law is 77 and he's a Liverpool councillor, and, you know, he lost his wife 16 years ago, and I think he'd be lost if he didn't have his job. You know, he loves it and gets something to get up for every day.
I suppose, it's what you kind of mean by retirement. I think if I don't know, if I was I mean, if you're a teacher, you're sort of forced to retire at that age. Or, I mean, if it's a job where you have to be somewhere every day, 9 to 5, I can understand where you get to a point where you go, right, I've done that and I don't want to do it anymore. But I also couldn't do the just sitting at home. I think I'd volunteer, or I'd keep busy, or, you know, my mum volunteers. She's a guide at Westminster Abbey, and she absolutely loves it, you know, and she's like a spring chicken. I won't say her age because she'll kill me.
Well, my dad is in his 80s and my mum late 70s, and they've got a whole new lease of life, touring all around the world. My dad's written this play, and they're just constantly on tour. If they come back, and there's a couple of days and they're off again. And I absolutely don't. My dad seems to just every time he's working, he drops 10 years. He just comes back to life. And I think Jane's right. I think if it's a job that you don't like, you should absolutely retire at 65, but not do anything. Just do all those things that you love and all those things that keep you. You know,
but what if you can't afford it? What if you need to keep working?
Well, that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that, exactly.
Whether you hate your job or like your job.
I think it's really sad when people are forced to retire, because I mean, like my nanny that looks after my children and has done for the last 10 years, she's been with me. You know, I chose someone that was in their 60s because I think she was going to be the best person. I don't know why people always want 18-year-old au pairs to look after their kids who are like on the phone and wanting their boyfriend. She has got the time, she's got the patience, she's got the experience. You know, my lovely Pat, my girls will just, if they want to sit and feed the ducks for 2 hours, she'll sit with them and be fine with that.
Unlike you.
Unlike me.
We go, this is really boring. Can we go home now?
I get coffee. You know, so, and you know, my husband and I have a company, and we love to employ older people because they've got so much love.
They've got experience,
exactly.
and
patience.
You know, patience, exactly.
And they're very loyal because actually, you know, they appreciate the job and they're not constantly looking for the next opportunity. And also, they're not going to go off and have children, are they?
No,
they're going to, you know, be there.
Thinking like doctors and people like that, you know, that have to retire at 65. You know, we need doctors. You know, we're not got enough coming through, and they were saying today with all the older guys retiring and everything, we need, you know, to keep them on for another 5 years if they're happy to.
And I remember my doctor was Dr. Foster when I was a kid, and he had that snowy...
Did you go to Gloucester?
I know. So glad you picked up on that. I handed it to you on a plate, Andy. But he had that lovely snowy white hair, and he was a bit like my granddad, and so I felt so, like, comfortable with him, and so... You know, and safe.
Yeah.
So, absolutely, I think people want to work. They should be allowed to.
No,